So I give these talks and these presentations, but I show people an actual practical exercise that they can do to prove to them that their thoughts manifest in their body instantly. Now, obviously, I can't do that with you guys here because you actually need a partner for that exercise. So we're just going to talk about it. When we are holding certain thoughts within our body, it will drain away our energy or it will give us energy. So you could actually do this right now. If you were to take your hands and you were to just press them together, like you're praying, press your hands together in front of you and think really good thoughts like, man, I'm awesome. Things in my life are working out. Things are great. Things are real good. And you were to focus on those things. Notice the strength that is flowing through your body when you are saying those things, thinking those things. Now, if you switch it to, oh, I'm actually not that great. I kind of suck. I'm not a very good person. You will notice that the longer that you do this, that the longer that you let it go on for, the more energy drains out of your body. And pretty soon you can barely even press your hands together because it has drained away, it's actually drained away the energy from your body. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. This only happens with the negative thought, and it doesn't have to do anything to do with you. It could not be about you. It could be about somebody else that will also deplete your energy. It could be about the world generally. It really could be any negative thought that manifests physically inside your body. So it manifests physically instantly by taking your energy away. Here's where we go deep. Each thought is attached to a certain part of your body. So when I am working with my clients and I regress them back, what I'm having them do is follow the body. So let's say someone has sadness within them. Okay, well, I'm going to have them bring up that feeling of sadness. And when you're in state, when you're in the theta state, which is the only state I work with people in, when they're in theta, I will have them bring up that sadness. And then I will say to them, where do you feel this in your body? And they will list off different places that they feel it. Some people will be like, oh, it's just in my head. Oh, it's in my right finger and my left elbow and my right foot. Oh, it's in my calf. It's literally anywhere. It could be anywhere. Some people will list off one place, like, oh, it's just in my head. And some people will list off 5 places and or more, and give me a whole different pile of places that they're holding it within their body. So here's why this matters. Because every time that sadness comes up and that energy that you're feeling it, that physical energy inside your body, and it's like, oh, I feel it in my shoulder, I feel it here and there, what you're doing every single time that you have that same thought is you're taking away the vital life force energy from that part of your body that's supposed to be holding high frequency, life-giving life force energy. But what you're doing with that thought, with thought alone, you are taking away that life force energy from that part of your body. So what eventually happens is the body will break down. There will be physical ailments that pop up. There will be all kinds of things. If you guys don't already have the book, The Secret Language of Your Body, written by Anna Segal, it will list out for you, it will tell you what your ailment or what your body part that's causing problems for you, it will tell you the emotional cause behind it. This book is deadly accurate. I use it with my clients all the time. I'll read it out to them. They're like, oh, I got, sore kidneys. Okay, let's read it. Oh yeah, that sounds like me. Well, then those are the things we're working on. Because once we heal those thoughts, purely, it's all mind. Once we heal those thoughts, those beliefs that are there, then the physical ailment just goes away. Because our body is a blueprint for our mind, causing physical aches and pains where emotional aches and pains, past traumas and hurts, go on unattended. Now you might think, I'm good, I'm over this, whatever. I worked with somebody yesterday and they thought, I had a really crappy childhood, but I think I've really resolved all that stuff. It doesn't seem to be bothering me anymore. Okay, good, perfect, whatever. So we do the same thing. We regress back. And what happens? Well, upon checking, no, they were still telling me, holding on to 50 to 75% of that hurt and that pain. This is what came out in the theta state, the only state that I'm really working with people in. Like, we'll consciously talk when you're in just a regular state. Then I'm going to get you into the state and into theta, and all of the blocks and all the barriers and all the things that you don't know right now, you then become aware of. You open up this other part of your mind, and we explore it, and we find where we got to go. But it is through this constant thought and that depletion that happens, the depletion of the life force energy within that particular part or parts, this is what eventually leads to some type of physical ailment or dis-ease. And now you might say, no, this happened. I picked this thing up and then this happened to me, or I tripped over this thing, or I fell over. That was the incident. But I'm telling you, the only reason that incident happened was to cause you that injury so that you could then heal that thing behind it. I love this book. If I slam my finger in a door, I would go and I would look it up. Like, what does that mean? Because it will tell you which finger. It will tell you each specific vertebrae in the book. It's got so many details in it. So I would go and I would look up that finger, and whatever it said was like, oh yeah, that's deadly accurate. So even slamming a finger in a door there's nothing that is coincidence. It is trying to get your attention and say, heal this, heal this, heal this. You know what happens when you're running for so long and you're going and you're going and you're going, and all of a sudden you come down with a sickness or something like that happens. Right? Your body is going to force you to do the work if you're not doing the work. It's going to force you. You're going to come down with some kind of terminal something or other that's not. None of it's terminal. Everything can be cured and healed with divine love. And it all begins and ends in the mind. It is our consciousness. Some people don't like to hear that because they want to be victims of their own body. But you're not. And it doesn't matter what the incident was. It doesn't matter how you hurt yourself 20 years ago and now you're still dealing with it. What you're still dealing with is the unresolved emotional turmoil and trauma that caused that original injury in the first place. Now, yeah, we go through things. There's karmic things. I mean, if you physically injured somebody else, that will come back to you at some point. There's other ways. But I'm telling you, from every single person that I've ever worked with in my office, and they get these results, that's where it's coming from. And now if somebody comes and then we do one session and they're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling a bit better, but then they stop doing the work. Well, why'd you stop doing the work? You noticed immediately that you were feeling a bit better, which is telling you, well, this is obviously the avenue that I need to be looking at because I feel a bit better. And when you go in and you deep dive, because there's tons. I mean, I've been working on myself for years and years and years. And I worked with my one friend, and I've worked with another friend, and they've done sessions for me, but they don't do sessions the way that I do sessions. So I've been working with them for years to resolve these things and to heal these things. But there's so much. We all got so much. Now I know when I'm working with somebody, I might only see them a couple times. So I'm going to get in there and I'm going to do as deep of work as we possibly can. I'll regress you, 3 times, 7 times, 8 times, whatever it takes to get you where you need to be. We're going to heal as many incidents, traumatic incidents from the past as possible in as short of time as possible. Because I might only see you once, and that's what I consider every time. So I'm like, okay, I might only see this person one time if they're only booked in for the one session, so we got to do as much as we possibly can and get as much as that old past hurt and trauma out of their body as possible, because it all comes down to belief. So if you had a traumatic childhood, you weren't treated properly, you weren't loved properly, first of all, know this, you're not alone. You know how many people have told me, you're the only person I've ever said this to, and then told me some horrific thing that happened to them. They've been keeping it all inside, all alone, feeling all alone their whole entire life until they decided to tell me. Now here's the thing about it. This is what's extra sad. is that then people who have been through these traumatic things, they don't talk about it. They don't tell other people. And so other people who have been through those traumatic things, they feel completely alone in it because everybody's not just walking around talking about it. But these things that happen to us when we're little scar us. If you had a parent that didn't love you properly, if they were cruel or mean, or they beat you, or they abused you, or they, told you were crappy, or you felt unwanted, or you felt loved, or you really were unwanted or unloved, it will have lasting effects on you unless you heal it subconsciously. And that's why you're here, is to grow spiritually. You're here to grow and to heal it. But if you're in victim mode, saying these people did this thing to me, which yes, they did, but if you're in that mode and you're still in the blame and the how could they do this to me, you're not growing, you're not healing, and you're going to be in a bad state. You're probably physically not going to be good, you're mentally not going to be good. And so the only way to get out of that is to look at it different. Change your perspective on this. First of all, you survived. You made it. You lived to tell this story. Think what you could do for somebody else who was going through that right now. Think about the inspiration that you could give to that person once you've healed yourself. You say, no man, you can get through it. I got through it. Look how strong it made me. It really made me realize what kind of a person I wanted to be, because I knew what I didn't want to be. It made me be a better mother or a better father. It made me maybe not want kids at all because I didn't want to cause any hurt or cause any harm or cause any damage. It made me very self-aware that people impact other people. So maybe it made you be kinder or nicer to other people. But you know what I bet happened? Was that it made you not be nice to yourself. And through that, the only reason that you're thinking that and that you're not nice to yourself is because there's an underlying belief that was caused from that trauma back in the day, and that belief is still there. It's still present. Even if you're like, no, I don't think it is, I could almost guarantee you that it is. There will be a belief that I'm unlovable, I'm unwanted, I'm unloved, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy or undeserving or whatever it happens to be. And if you have any one of those, the only reason you have it is because you still have past trauma that's unhealed. This is facts. I'm speaking for you facts. It's the only reason. That's the truth bomb of the day, because I've never once regressed somebody back, taken somebody back, and there not been a reason. There not been a root cause. And it always, always, always stems from a belief. The deepest underlying belief is that I am unlovable. And we might say, no, I know I'm lovable, I'm good, I'm this and that. But if you don't believe that 100%, that will dictate every single facet, every single area of your life. It will affect your career, it will correct your finance, your relationships, your friendships, all the stuff, all the things. It will affect every single area. And so when you heal this past trauma, now trauma could be anything. It could be the way that somebody treated you very unfairly, and that causes trauma. It could be a comment that somebody made to you, and it made you feel real terrible, or made you think differently, and it caused you some kind of trauma. So I'm not saying that you need to be beaten or you need to be, something like that to have trauma. Absolutely not. Trauma is something that you were good before it happened. You were feeling great. You were living in the truth. Things were wonderful. Then something happened and now you've downgraded. Now your thoughts about yourself have been downgraded. Now this is not some self-love message. This is a message about healing that so that you can, because you cannot love yourself. You can't if you haven't healed that trauma. You won't love yourself properly. You will only love yourself to the ability that you have and to the ability that you believe you are worthy of. So if you don't believe that you are absolutely just so lovable, you're going to treat yourself like you're not. So maybe you're going to have some kind of addictions. Maybe you're going to have some kind of other problems. Maybe you're going to have some type of mental health issue. Maybe you're going to have some kind of physical ailments going on. And this is all because of unresolved past trauma. And we carry it in the body. So you know that experiment with Dr. Emoto. Look it up if you haven't seen it, and how he puts the intention in the water. And it changes the actual structure of the water. Now, intention is thought. So someone literally sat there over some water and put some thought into the water, and it changed the structure. Now, you know that you are almost all water, right? And that your thoughts, as we judge from that very first experiment where you pushed your hands together, that your thoughts affect your physical body, right? It drains your energy. But what it's also doing is it is putting that information, that knowledge, that thought into your cells. And you keep charging it up day after day after day after day. If you're honest with yourself, how many times do you think that resentful or angry or sad or whatever thought over and over and over, if you're honest? And every time that you do this, you are lowering your frequency. You are downgrading your body. You are charging that water with intention, with thought in your body. And you wonder, why I don't feel good. Well, look it up. Look up that Dr. Emoto thing and think and go in and see what it looks like with hate. Go and look at that. Do you want to hold that in your body? It's disgusting. I wouldn't want that in my body. That would make me feel horrible. Any of the lower downgraded thoughts, any low thinking, manifested into that water, changed the molecular structure, and it does the exact same thing in your physical body. So you think that by not forgiving somebody, they're being punished in some way. They're not. It's you. It's your thought. It's you that is downgrading your body. You are charging it up with that unforgiveness, and it's ugly, and it's disgusting, and it makes you sick. It takes away the life force energy that's supposed to be there, and it takes it away, and it downgrades it. Nobody can do the healing work for you except for you. I mean, if we could, so there's so many empathic people here, they would do it. They would do it for you if they could, but they can't. We can only do it ourselves because you're the only one living in your head. You're the only one living behind your mind. And nobody knows. No one has control over your mind but you. You can think whatever you want. But as you do, you are constantly manifesting second by second, moment by moment, and those manifestations manifest physically in your body as well as in the outside world. But as they manifest physically in your body and you wonder, why am I so tired? Well, what do you keep telling yourself? Why am I so tired? Why am I so tired? Tired. Put your hands over some water and charge it up with that. What do you think's going to happen to it? Well, of course, it's going to make that water real tired. It's going to drain the life out of it. And so people think that they're stating things that are happening, right? Well, I'm feeling this way. I'm saying this, and we're using our words, and we're speaking them, and we're reinforcing them over and over and over and over and over and over again. Our thoughts, our thinking, it's repetitive over and over. And so every time we do that, we are depleting the life force energy that's meant to be in that part of our body. How can you change this? Well, if you start by looking in that book, The Secret Language of Your Body, then you can at least know what you're working with. You got a sore knee? Okay, well, knees have to do with significant relationships in your life, male and female, depending on the leg. So I guess you're going to have to heal that. And now I know that it can be difficult if you were not treated properly. I understand. I've been there. I've experienced it. Well, go and listen to the videos on forgiveness. Because when you forgive somebody else, it's you that you set yourself free. You set yourself free. And as long as you're not, that other person is still in control of your life. But you need to remember this. People are only doing as good as they can. People are only doing the best that they can do. And if they're not loving you properly and they're just horrible to you, or if your parents were super abusive or they weren't there, or you feel abandoned, or whatever it happens to be, if that goes on unhealed, it will manifest in your life in so many ways, and you will not be living how you were meant to be living, in the happiness and the joy and in the love. And this will be because you've chosen and because you've decided to continue to think those thoughts. Now, until you're aware of this, like you're aware of this right now, You might not even know that that's what you've been doing this whole entire time, but it makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? Because when you're super upset or when you're super stressed out about something, those pains and those aches, they get worse. It's true. You can talk to your body. You can talk to your body. So if you don't have that book and you don't want to buy that book, which I would highly recommend going and buying that book, and you don't got to read it, you just look things up in it. Once you figure out what it is that your body's trying to tell you, then you can do something about it. But you can talk to your body. You can put yourself into that theta state, and you can talk to your body and you can ask it. You could go and listen to one of the mental cleanse videos, get yourself into state, then pause it. Get yourself talk down to where you need to be, pause it, and then talk to that part of your body. Let's say it's your finger. You're like, finger, what's wrong? What are you trying to tell me? And it'll tell you. It'll tell you something. But it's not going to tell you something if you think that this is stupid. And if you think that it's not going to work, then it's not going to do nothing. But your mind knows absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. About you, it knows everything about everything. You just got to get the conscious mind out of the way so that you can access the real knowledge that's there deep in your subconscious mind. And when you do this, it will know every single thing about your body. Now, I've regressed people back for physical ailments, and they went back to right that second of the injury, and there was some thought right at that second of the injury. And then injury occurred. And so our body is just trying to say, pay attention. And so if you are suffering physically in any way, it is because mentally, emotionally, there's something, some traumatic event that happened to you that has not been dealt with yet, that has not been healed properly yet. And you could say, oh, I've been going to counselors for 5 years, and don't go, that's not going to do nothing. That's not going to do nothing for you. If you do not do subconscious work, the actual subconscious work, it's not going to do nothing for you. So I'm going to tell you how you can do it. You can do this for yourself. You could go to the Mental Cleanse series, and you could listen to group hypnotherapy sessions. I made them for free for you guys because I love you guys, and I want everyone to be healed so that we don't go walking around hurting people. Now, here's how you can do this. If you don't want to listen to those, and you're not going to do that, all you need to do is get yourself in a state, and you are in state 2 minutes before you fall asleep at night. So lay there in bed when you're real tired. Count from 10 all the way back to 1. Let yourself really relax. Just do it in your head, do it in your mind. And when you are so relaxed and heavy and nice, relaxed in your bed, maybe it'll take you longer than 10 numbers if you're, not real tired or you need to be calmer. Count down more. But as you do that, tune into that part of your body and just say, what are you trying to tell me? What have I not resolved? What belief or beliefs am I holding in this, finger, elbow, whatever it happens to be, that are not serving me anymore? And then trust that whatever comes is the truth, right? It's your mind. You thought it. It came there for a reason. And then work on that. Work on that. And if you have some kind of injury, well, you are carrying actual energetic energy in your body all the time. It's what underlies your whole entire body. So you could even imagine, while you're in that same state, draining out that negative energy that's in there and just thanking it for being there. I'm hearing you. I understand exactly what you're saying. Love that part that you have. And just imagine actually draining out the energy that's in there. This will be very helpful for you. Now, if you do have some kind of physical ailment, if you do not heal the underlying cause, it will not matter if somebody lays hands on you and heals you and speaks the divine word over you and it creates immediate healing. It's not going to last. Why? Because that underlying belief is the only reason why it's there. That continual thought, the thinking, the low, downgraded thinking is the reason why that illness has manifested inside your body. Now, it can be any kind of emotion. We could hold guilt, we could hold shame. If we had something happen to us, if there was some kind of sexual abuse or something like that in our life when we were younger, this can manifest in those types of organs. Because that trauma stays, lives, breathes within the body until we heal it on a deep and subconscious level. So if you want to know more about physical healing, you can email me and we can arrange for a call, and I can let you know the process of how it works. Most people only come a couple of times, and there's a huge transformation that comes, but it is you that does the work. You know, I'm going to guide the process. I'm going to do my thing. But it's you. You are the only person in this entire world that has control of your mind. This is your free will. And the decisions that you make and the choices that you make, choosing to think and allow certain thoughts to be there. And I know it's addicting, isn't it? Those low downgraded thoughts, or those angry thoughts perhaps towards a parent or something. I used to have that when I was younger. Oh, I was so resentful towards my dad. And there was so, it just came to mind all the time. I was so resentful, and I have completely forgiven him. Like I said, go listen to that video about forgiveness. I'll link it here at the end. But I'm set free, and it sets him free too, and it's a wonderful thing. And it truly will change your life. We need to forgive people. We need to heal the guilt that we hold within us. We need to heal the resentments and the anger that is within us. Because all of these underlying things are causing us to suffer. Now, this suffering is good, because through the suffering, we think, man, I gotta fix this. And so then we have to heal it. It will either kill us or we will heal it. Only options. But as you heal it, and as you can honestly look back and appreciate every single thing that you went through, because it made you who you are today, led you to where you're at today. When you can honestly heal those things, then changes take place in your life. Your life becomes better. The changes and the things that you were stuck and you were feeling this certain way, and these chaotic energies, these destructive things happening around in your life, they stop happening. Because you're no longer giving them, you're not feeding them anymore, you're not giving them the focus, and you're giving new, better, more wonderful, more truthful things, more things that are in alignment with the divine love that exists within everything. And when we're in alignment with that, everything goes wonderfully good. So if you were listening to this and you have some kind of physical ailment, remember the book is called The Secret Language of Your Body by Anna Segal. It's really a good way for you to know what emotions need to be worked on. Then you can head on over to the Mental Cleanse series and be like, okay, well, it's about anger and this and that. And then you can go and you can do those group hypnotherapy sessions that are on there completely for free. So I'm telling you how you can heal yourself completely for free if you don't want to have private sessions with me. It's all available. But I love you all. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm sending you so much love right now. And if you are suffering in any way, I'm telling you, honey, it doesn't have to be forever. And the decisions that we make and the choices that we make in our thinking and in our thoughts can change things miraculously, instantly, when we heal things. So, my darlings, I will tune in again here tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. You have a wonderful day. Thanks, my dears.